Okay. Sorry about that. Right when I pressed the button to swap over to our main scene here, I was like, my nose is bleeding. It was the perfect timing. Like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll just leave it on that screen and go take care of this real quick. So, it's dry here. It's getting more dry, and a lot of the stuff is starting to bloom, so the bloody noses are on their way for the season, so yay! That's what I get to deal with. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the stream. I'm Tahoe Anime. I'm going to be, let's see, what am I going to be working on today? Today is Wednesday, March 18th. Wednesdays are usually our shorter days for streams. Those are our 2-hour streams. Just because I've got our school system here does a weird thing where Wednesdays are early release days. I don't know if anybody else has those anywhere else, but kids get out like an hour early from school because of there's some development stuff that the schools have to do. Anyways, teacher training, something along those lines, blah blah blah. So they get out an hour early. Which means I gotta go get my daughter an hour early from school. So that's why it's a little bit different between Mondays and Fridays, where I can do 3-hour streams. Wednesdays are 2 hours because of that. But that's the case. But what are we gonna work on today? I got a lot of stuff in the brain box right now. The last couple of streams we've been working on, we worked on some new stickers for our 2x2s that we're going to print out for our business cards. And then we started working, or continued working on our table runners, our banners that we're going to hopefully get printed out. Still trying to decide what I want to do about that. If I want to do the table runner thing. Actually, you know what? Let's go back into that. I did figure out, I don't know what was up with Adobe on Monday. But see how we've got an issue here where this first banner has this white outline around the stitch tails, and these two don't. It was really weird. So I went and did some background research to see what was going on. And I thought at first that Adobe was just straight not exporting one of the layers that I had put together. And come to find out that wasn't the case. It wasn't the layers that was an issue. It was that one of the, I don't know, what would I say it? Thank you, Patch, for yelling at us. I appreciate it. I still don't know 100% what it was. Anyways, the text is composed of two separate things stacked on top of each other. I don't want to call them layers because they're like, what do they call them? Sub-layers? Whatever these in between. I don't even know what you would call those. Let's just open it up and I'll show you real quick, because I have to export them out anyways. Okay, so for this text layer, if we open it up, there's 3 separate sub-layers inside of that one layer. That's the way this works. For some reason, one of those sub-layers was just not exporting. It would just, let me play with this at all? No? Yeah, it was just straight turning this one off and would not export it. I don't know why, but it was being really, really weird. So I had to delete that whole layer and grab another one. So make another copy of 17, bring it up here and rotate it and stuff like that. And then that worked fine. So like, it didn't make any sense why it wasn't working. It had all of the stuff. It just was being funky dory. I don't know why. So what'd y'all end up doing last night? It was just hello Bishak, good morning. It was just me and Mr. Alex in the chat, and he was on playing Arc Raiders, and I was running through doing random stuff in Destiny. I did finally get my red crystal from doing Invasion, so yay for me. I don't have to do that anymore. And then I just went and basically just run the Strike playlist for a little bit and got some stuff doing that. So I have to figure out something new to do now. I don't know what to do now. It was nice to be able to get it, but it was one of those, like when I go in for those invasions, I don't take it freaking serious at all. And like I was hanging out on top of mountain peaks, just whatever. And whatever reason, that last game where I got the crystal, there were like sweaty tryhards in there that were like freaked out that there was an invader in there. And so there's one dude who wanted to come after me so badly, and he would kill me, and then because he would just super every time, and he teabag afterwards, and I'm like, this is the one where I'm gonna get the red crystal because somebody's being shitty, and yeah, that's what happened. Yay for headache going away. Marathon? You're not wrong. Like, $40 is tempting. It's not a huge price tag, so it's definitely tempting. Bishik is currently on a 3-stream streak. Plus 350. It took my buttons? What do you mean? It should be giving you 350. Or did you spend them all last time? Not my gumdrop buttons. The raid releases this weekend. Yeah, that sounds cool. I'm interested to see how this goes. Like and they're also running a test on 2-man teams this weekend as well, I believe. Or did they initialize that today? Can't remember. Hey, look at that. We got to stream a bot already. Wow. How many minutes are we in? 17 minutes in. That's fast today. That's very fast. They're on it. Wow. Let's relink this now that we've got this corrected. No? Did it do it again? No. It did it again. No. Oh my gosh, it's doing it again. What the monkey? It did it again. I really don't know why it's doing it. No. We literally just looked at this. It's straight up just ignoring this layer, this sublayer. Why? Copy. just gonna make it its own dedicated layer and see if that does it. Did you see the new mini Mac laptop? It's like $500. Yeah, I did. That's very interesting. And I've heard that there's been a lot of buzz around it too, which is kind of cool. I'm interested to see how that experiment goes with that device, because if it's a powerful enough machine, does a lot of things that people want it to do, it's cheap enough, and there's a big enough buzz around it that people pick it up and stuff like that, it may push a lot of... It would be interesting to see if a lot of other companies get scared that Apple is able to put out a $500 Mac Mini laptop and do really, really well with it, while they're all pushing 1,000, 2,000, plus, especially as RAM and everything goes higher and higher and higher. Computer parts, all of that. If the industry kind of freaks out a little bit or not. I'd be interested to see what happens. Nope, it didn't do it again. Okay, it's just straight ignoring layers now. Why is that? I'm just gonna go ahead and expand the appearance. Nope, that's not what I wanted. And appearance. Can I, there we go, expand, object fill, okay. That should be a solid object now. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me, Adobe. I'm not in the market for a new laptop, but the price point seems really fair considering Apple has crazy pricing normally. Yeah, I would agree. I think it depends on what the performance is on it, what the utility of it is. Because generally, I think when you're buying a Mac product, especially why I pay more for it compared to a typical desktop PC and stuff like that is, I want it to... I'm going to run a lot of stuff heavy on it, kind of thing, right? And a lot of creative programming and stuff like that. So I want it to be optimized for that, which typically I would say it is, right? Not saying that you couldn't optimize a PC or build something that way, but then you typically would be paying about the same price. Okay, that fixed it. Oh my god, what a workaround. That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that laptop and how well it's received and stuff. I don't think it's going to be I can't imagine it's going to be uber powerful in a lot of ways for $500. Unless they're not telling us something with how it works, but I don't know. I do have to say, if it's running the new Mac OS, the Mac OS Tahoe, go figure. Man, it's still kind of rough. So I hope they get it figured out during its time. We'll see how it goes, but I think someone compared it to an iPhone based on its casing and housing. Yeah, that would probably make sense. Well, I think that's the funny part, is that they've been pushing towards essentially just having the iPads take over a lot of that field. So having basically that, it sounds like that laptop is an in-betweener, right? It's an in-between of their MacBooks and their iPads is what it is. It gives you the ability to do all this stuff on a iPad, which is a lot of stuff, with the keyboard and basic structure stuff of a laptop. What it sounds like. Okay, so that fixed it. Hopefully that holds. Some files are missing or modified in the links panel. Would you like to update them now? No. I don't know what that's thinking. I think it's comparable to a Chromebook. I think it'll have more functionality than a Chromebook. I think that'll be the interesting part to see. Because it's already out. Like, people have them. I'm pretty sure. I think they're officially out. I would be the thing about the Chromebook was it is. Oh, that's what I'm doing. Okay, that's what it's asking me for. Is for the one I just relinked. That place. There we go. Got it fixed. Huzzah. The Chromebook was an interesting one. We got one for Mrs. Tahoe for her real estate stuff, and a lot of the work that she does is web-based, right? There's a lot of web-based platforms that she uses for real estate and things like that, so it's great. But anytime she would need to do anything beyond that, or do something with a file, or say somebody had a document that they signed that they needed something else done with it, or changed from a PDF, blah blah blah, it didn't have the ability to save files to a desktop because it didn't have one. So that was a limitation of that. It's like great for web-based things in that way, but limited in its functionality. And I don't even think you could plug too many peripherals into it, because it really didn't give you that many ports and stuff like that. So like a Chromebook is definitively just for web browsing and stuff like that in that way. But that's going to be interesting because there's a lot of functionality you can do even with the iPad and plug stuff into it. They have a lot of third-party peripherals and stuff like that can plug into it. But that was always a limitation of the iPad as well, is that it wasn't an app or a desktop-based ecosystem. So you could save certain things, but it wasn't the same like a desktop is. Is that how y'all met? You were building a house while she was selling it? Be right back. Writing a fanfic. No, that is not how we met. We met in high school. Okay, do you want the long story or do you want the short story? Because the short story is we met in high school. If you want the long story, I can give you the long story. The longer story, I'll say that. Back in the day, which was a Tuesday. Dreamer, let me tell the story. You should always jumping in on my stories here. So Dreamer's right. We met in second grade. She moved into our small little town around that time, and it was a small town. Like, everybody knew each other. We just kind of gravitated around each other and stuff like that. So we went through middle school into most of high school, kind of knew of each other. Our families had connections with each other through church and stuff like that. But it seemed like our social circles didn't cross enough during those times for us to like really know each other. My grandma always jokes that she was always trying to tell Mrs. Tahoe about me and that she should date me and blah blah blah, and like we were so far not on each other's radar that didn't even like register. She's like, sure, old lady, I'd go back to church and just, you know, chill. So a lot of that throughout our younger years, you know, just kind of missing each other, those misconnections kind of set up in there. When we got into middle school and stuff like that, we were on opposite sides of the core. So once again, our social circles didn't overlap each other at all. Get into high school, very similar thing. We were never in each other's classes except for a few brief ones. I think it was it freshman year or is it sophomore year that we had that English class together. I knew of Mrs. Tahoe. She had a reputation in the school and stuff like that. She was very popular. Let's just say that. And it was a small school. Like, there wasn't too many unpopular people. Anyways, but it wasn't until senior year that we, I think we had a PE class together because we both needed credits for something. And then we had a video production class together, and we started talking a bunch more and hanging out around each other. And then I started working on our senior farewell project, and she started hanging out around us while we were doing that in the afternoons. She was a smart cookie, so she really didn't like have classes from like noon onwards. She could have graduated like a year early, essentially, is what had happened. Why am I not exporting this? So it just kind of like happened at the end where we just started hanging out around each other and more connection points socially and stuff like that, and just kind of went from there. Trying to think, we started dating at the very end there. Both. And then she was going to move away to Sacramento for college, and she spent, I think it was the first half of her first year by herself down there, and we had started talking during that time. I think it was a little bit towards the end, the middle of that, that maybe I should move in with her, and it just kind of snowballed from there. We've told the story before on our podcast episode that I slowly took like car full of stuff from my bedroom in my parents' house down to her apartment, and like slowly moved in to the point where like my parents didn't really notice until it was almost too late. I'm like, well, all of my stuff's down there, so I'm just moving in. But yeah, that's the longer, simplified version of it. Dreamer has a much Dreamer was all of that accurate. She has a slightly different telling of all those things, because she has, yeah, it's just the way it works. But get rid of that. She's lurking. She might not be able to hear us now. But we got that figured out. I'm still not sure exactly what's happening with that purple, but the cool part is now you can test this out where I flip it around and you can see the different banner styles here, either direction. Same thing with this one. So it can be either or, which is kind of my idea, my plan. Okay, so we can save that. Hopefully it won't crash everything. No guarantees. No, there's some other details that Dreamer likes to throw into the story that I cut out for time's sake sometimes. But yeah, nothing crazy. The real estate thing really didn't come into play until after our kids were born and stuff like that, and we had moved to Reno and stuff like that. That's a more, oh my god, I was going to say more recent development. My son's 18. I guess that's not as recent as I think it is. Okay, so we want to start a new one. Let's do print inches. It's going to be 7 inches wide. 10 inches, not 110, 10 inches tall. CMYK, transparent 300. Okay, great. Actually, I don't want to do that. I want to go to my duplicate. Do I want to duplicate that? Duplicate this. I have a template set up for my for each of my artboards and stuff like that I want to keep using. Okay, so we just change this. Width is going to be 7, height is going to be 10. Cool. These are guide layers, that's fine. Those at the moment. How's your day going, Bishak? Hopefully everything's going well. So we've got a plan. Not too bad. I have some interviews set up for tomorrow, which is nice. Oh, that's good. Very, very good. So what I'm working on here is we came up with an idea that we want to, actually what I'll do is I'll take my inspiration stuff and I'll put it on here so you guys can see it. Dun, dun, dun. It's a good idea. Okay, so let's put this one here. So we want to make some tote bags, but we thought about, I've got some digital ones that I've made, or I've got some Printify shop ones that I've made designs for, but they're expensive. Like, to get them printed and have them available and stuff like that, they're a lot. So we're like, what is another skill of mine that I've developed over my years at college and stuff like that I can use? I was like, oh, I know how to do printmaking. So why don't I develop or make a stamp? I can hand cut a lino stamp and make that into our design for our little bag. So we started looking up like different anime style bags and stuff like that. These little canvas bags. Trying to get an idea of what we want or something that we could pull off. Doesn't have to be too crazy. Anything like that. There we go. Those are the inspiration ones. So I'm going to, since we've been working a lot with the idea of Polaroids, we thought we would make some type of design that fits on this 7x10 piece of linoleum that I have, that I can use my tools to cut the designs out with. So it's got to be semi-simple, but pretty cool. But it's got to be a good design at the same time. But using this idea of these Polaroids. Hey, Sunny. Good morning. Don't want them. So I was trying to decide if I do them. If I do them like that, then they can be separate. I like them being over top of each other, even just a little bit. So they're going to cut into each other's design a hair, but not too bad. We're kind of taking, we saw this center picture here, and we're like, oh, I'm doing a bunch of stuff with Polaroids right now, kind of idea. Maybe we'll do something like that. And then we had seen this top bag first, and Dreamer really liked that idea of having the 4 like panels. So like this was our progression, and then I saw this one. I was like, oh, I like how we have the definition between the light and the dark. I could definitely do something like that. It'd be a little bit more tricky with the character designs the way I have them set up. But definitely possible. Might have to move them around a little bit more. Oh, you know what I can do? I wonder if they have, let's see. I'm pretty sure, yeah, they do mockup. Preview mockup. So hopefully you guys can see that. Oh, you can. Okay, cool. Apparel? No. Packaging. Oh, that's right. You can do, I think you can do your own mock-ups. Select the mock-up created and click on plus add as template button at the bottom of the panel. So I think I can go tote. I'm looking for a photo real quick. Not that one. That's a terrible photo. Let's try. Okay. Let's go. Let's put this here. Trying out some new stuff today. I've played with this before, but I can't always remember how it works. Yes, bad. Save your mockup as a template. So there's a way to select the mockup created, and we should be able to make our own mockup. Type, transform. I thought there was a way to do it. Like if I do this, press that, I can place it on the canvas. Your mockups. I swear there's a way. In the Illustrator, select the vector and image, and then, oh, that's right. You have to do them together. That's right. You have to select them together, and then it allows you to do it. Yeah, create mockup. Thank you, Vern. I was like, I've done it before. I've done it a couple times, and I was like, there's something between. I knew I had to select this to put. Yeah. Okay, I do remember that one. Okay, so let's just put that. Now select this. Now create that. Thanks for making my Discord ID all dark and stuff. Hey, it was a good joke. I go with good jokes. Those are fun. I'm not sure I'm a dark character, but we'll run with it for a minute. Yeah, might as well. Okay. Yeah, so that's kind of like the idea that we're thinking about. I think it's going to be smaller though, because it's only going to be a 7x10. So yeah, we can do mock-ups like this through Illustrator, and then I can release this and it goes back to. I was just going to keep it there. Okay, whatever. Okay, good to know. Okay, so I want to make it the size. I want to make this. Something like that. Yeah, so now if I select this, this, it'll just move it and put it over top of it like it's supposed to. I think some of these tools like this are nice because I get to concept out some of the ideas. I don't by any means think this is... I wouldn't take this and put this online and be like, buy this. It'd be like, no, I don't like that idea. But I like the concept of being able to see what it looks like, which is nice. Okay, cool. So that can wait. These guys, let's get rid of these lines. Get rid of those. Get rid of those. So I gotta come up with... I want to do this right. It won't matter. It won't matter once I do that. It's just for the mock-up stuff that it would be weird. Okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Copy. I think what I want to do... yeah. So what I want to do is I want to take... this. I want to cut that out of that one. Perfect. Same thing here. Cut that one. Okay, there we go. So now I can take and put stuff behind it. Because we're not going to make these colored, because I'm going to actually cut these all by hand and do printmaking stuff on them is what I'm doing. So go in here, do that. We'll make them white instead so that I can make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing correctly. White. 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 Okay, so this one's going to be... have I done this before? I might have to come back. That's fine. This is the problem that I ran into when I was doing the coloring pages, is that when you don't have the color, the eyes look a little bit funky. They don't have all of that. They don't have the bottom part of the iris popping through. So what I've done before, add a little 0.25. Oops, that one. that. I think I put it on the inside. Inside out. That's in the middle. Inside. Oh, thank you, Sunny.
Sunny_Ruth says save your work.
Yeah, that's been weird. It hasn't been saving correctly recently. And a big stretch.
Sunny_Ruth says big stretch.
Look, Vern, you don't know how important the Sunny telling me to save my work is. There's been a couple times where I've actually lost a whole bunch of stuff because I didn't save. You know that. You've experienced that before. You need to hydrate one. Turn on autosave. No, I hate autosave. It decides it wants to do it at the worst times. I also don't save any of my stuff to the cloud because I don't like them having access to claim all of my artwork and photos and everything else like that. So the hydrate one kills me because I don't. He sips juice boxes. I know, I do need to buy myself some juice boxes. Sippy sippy. I feel like the hydrate one is where people are just downing water all day and stuff like that. I don't know. Look, Sunny harasses me enough with the stretches and stuff like that, which I'm currently am still doing, that I'm pretty sure I would drown with all of the water drinking that I would have to be doing with the amount of points that Sunny uses on everything. Good. I discovered on my last rally that the applesauce in like the Go pouches is clutch. It really is. I drink lots of apple juice throughout my days. We buy, so when we go to Costco, they have those 2 packs of like a gallon each, or that's 2 gallons of apple juice. We buy 4 of those, and my daughter and I, we go through those 4 of them in the 2 weeks in between our Costco trips. So between the 2 of us, we drink a lot of apple juice. I've been living wrong. Hey, apple a day keeps the doctor away. I'm pretty sure that's how that goes. I don't know. That's what I tell Dreamer. I was just like, I'm just drinking apple juice so that I keep the doctor away. That's how this works, right? She's like, no, that's not how this works. I was like, can't beat the saying though. Like, that's how what it means. She's like, no. So why is this being a butthole right now? Definitely not right. Speaking of which, I need my water and coffee hydration. Yes. And coffee is hydration because it does have mostly water in it. Found that out recently. I don't drink any coffee, but okay, so it doesn't like it when it's in this mode. Okay, so let's do... I'll have to figure out a workaround here. Why did I do that? None. There we go. Let's go back. case. That is not what I wanted. Can I copy the clipping path? Clipping path. Interesting. How did I do this before? I did this a different way before. Okay, let's figure out. I usually put a little line around this, but it's being weird. It won't let me do what I want. Figure out how I've done this in the past. Okay, we're saving it, and then we're gonna do our 3-minute ad break here in about 60 seconds. So let's see. Let's check on our assistant. She's outside currently. Hey, there she is. She's hanging out. She's doing her thing in the backyard. Sorry, I was away. The applesauce pouches. Oh yes, mostly they're warm because we've been carrying them in a random pocket. Yeah, that makes sense. Nothing beats a cold applesauce pouch though. I'm gonna do some more of those stretches that Sunny wanted me to do. Alright peoples, we've got 3 minutes of ads coming up here shortly. So I'm gonna take a break, come right back, keep working on stuff for the next hour, and then go from there. So stick around, I'll see you all in a minute. All right. I have returned. Welcome back. Wait, isn't that why we're all part of our weird social awkward social group is because we all are bad at social cues? I'm pretty sure that's why we're all together. We're like, where are people that are like me that are weird and awkward and don't understand social cues? Oh, Dungeon Protocols. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I'm gonna go hang out with them. None just came across a job newsletter that made me think of you if you were in tech. Honestly, Tahoe spitting facts. I ain't wrong. I did one of the things that I changed over when I took over was classifying us as a awkward social group. I think that was Mum's suggestion, or it was a collaboration of all of our ideas. Me, Mum's, Thunder, and Metal at that time. Awkward social group. Do that. Just do it, that's fine. There we go. Now it gives it better context clues for it. I don't want to go to promos. So this is going to be the hard one. There. This one's going to be a little harder. Oh, you guys don't like the video of Sora? I can switch it. We can just go to the outside. Whee! Sometimes I wonder if I should just have that screen up like 99% of the time and just have the artwork in the like bottom right hand corner. Like, I don't know if it matters or not. I don't know which one would be better. I can put it back here. I hadn't done anything really yet, so. Pet the assistant. Wait.
Inverness Shadow Pet the assistant.
Uh-oh. Might crash.
Sunny_Ruth.
We're gonna lose the stream. Sorry, guys.
Emoji, Tahoe cheer, sparkles emoji.
Oh my god. Oh my god, he got really angry for a second. He got really angry. Holy smokes. Can I redo that one? Infamous Pet the Assistant. Can I re-trigger that event? Successfully triggered event. I don't see it doing it. I don't understand how you can re-trigger something, like, will it do the... I never see it do it again. Let me double check and make sure this works. Okay, yeah, it does work.
Tahoe anime Pet the assistant.
You know what I should do? I should make it so that... Well, no, because I don't always know where she's at either, though, is the kicker, because she moves around a lot. I was like, I should have my Firebot make it so that when the Pet the Assistant is redeemed, that it swaps to the camera, and then once it's done, it swaps back. I could make it do it automatically, but the problem is that I don't know where she's gonna be. So I should go out there and pet her. And you get your standing steps. Yeah, then you all get to see me on camera too. I see this as a trick. Vern's trying to get my photo ID, my information. She's like, I will find you, Tahoe. I will find you. Wouldn't be too hard because you probably already have my address based off of the cards I've sent you, so it's not much of a... I'm not saving anything here. Oh, that's right, you are Darth Fern, so I have to be careful. I know, I get it every year. I'm very excited when I get your card.
Sunny_Ruth just inbox emoji, suggestion box.
Suggestion box, when you pet the assistant, Tahoe goes and pets the assistant. You know, I thought about doing that. I thought about that as well. That would be an interesting one to do. That one would have to be like a bigger reward one, I feel. I have to make that one bits or something. You have to do it. It's Twitch law. If I set it up that way, yes, I would have to do it. What do you think, Sunny? Should I make it a like if you spend a certain amount of bits, then I do that? Something like that? Should I incentivize that?
Coffee Kindred Pet the assistant.
Hey, thank you, Coffee. Thank you for petting our assistant. She's hanging out outside. She's doing her things. Well, we've already got her set up so that when we get to our goal of donating all of our channel points here, which By the way, people, we are at 92% raised for our channel. Excuse me, our points for our treat for Sora, our assistant. We are at 27,792 out of our 30,000 that we need. So like that is the way that you guys get to see her getting a treat, and kind of that interaction between me and her and stuff like that too. So kind of that's the one that works, but that's the one where y'all got to work together to make it happen too. So maybe that I think I can set up 3. I can do 3 challenges at a time, I believe. I do the one because I like that one. It's kind of just a fun goal setup thing to do. What did Tahoe say about my suggestion? I like that suggestion. I like it. Gotta figure out how to make it work. Okay, let's get rid of this. This is going to be interesting with the Patch character because he relies heavily on, he's got white whiskers and he's got gray for his main color and stuff like that. Trying to figure out how to make these like coloring pages and the block printing that I'm going to do for this bag and stuff like that is going to be interesting to figure out, to say the least. Pull those together. Okay, cool. Round. There we go. Finally, I figured out what it was that was causing that. It was the alignment. So if I pick this one, should be, yes, aligned outside. Cool, 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 cool. Ooh, I might have to change that. There we go, something like that. That's better. That way she actually gets pets. Yeah, well, trust me, she does not go without pets throughout the day. But then we'll be spamming Pet the Assistant. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is like, I think it should be probably a high, either a high redemption credit, the buttons points, or it has to be something like, remember when we were talking something about, I can do something with the bits and stuff too. I could be a bit redemption as well, or could be on a cooldown. I could do it on a cooldown. Well, it could be like each user gets 1 per stream or something like that, or I think it can be timed, yes, as well. So it could be either of those 2 things, but no, I was trying to figure out if I really wanted to play with it or something like that, that the treats and stuff that we do for Sora put those on the bits or something like that. So then the money that we make from the bits and stuff would go directly back towards buying her more treats, or buying both Patch and Sora treats for the month, essentially, kind of thing. Just kind of thinking of fun little ideas on stuff we could do. I was also trying to figure out if I set it up something like that, whatever, if there was like extra left over, then we could donate that to like the local shelter, the local animal shelter where we've adopted animals to, or something like that. Kind of like do a fun little thing, have it connected where it's a fun little thing that happens for stream, but also if it overshoots what we had set up, then it would actually go back to supporting some kind of community thing, something like that. Trying to drain my points, I see. Yes, you have too much power in this stream, by far. He has far too much power. Let's do this. Yeah. Copy. Paste. Hey Tahoe, what are you doing right now? You're deleting the openings. Now we're putting backgrounds. Okay, so do it like that. I think what I need to do is I need to separate. So I've got those separated now. I need to duplicate. Let's ungroup these. Get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. Top one now. Should have done this from the beginning, but I decided not to. I was like, I'll just put them all together on the same layer, because that'll work, right? Okay, so let's go into this one, ungroup that again. Okay, there we go. Now we've got that one set up for background. There we go. Got it in between now. Group. Okay, now we've got our layer set up where we've got the foreground, the middle ground for the character, and then the background for background. What points? Oh, so as you watch the stream, Vern, you get the buttons points, right? So those are what you use to do like the save your work or pet the assistant, suggestion box, the lurks, the Tahoe cheer, the dreamer cheers, the big stretches, all of that stuff. Those are the power-ups and rewards section on the stream, right? You can use the points for all of those things. Or the option at the top is the challenge, which is the special treat for our assistant Sora. And you can only put in, I think it's 2,000 per stream, but you can dump your points from just watching the stream into that. That's what that is. I've been doing that, yeah. I thought you were asking what. No, yeah, Sunny has a crap ton of points because Sunny does a whole bunch of stuff. So Sunny gets, yeah, he gets 2 times multiplier on buttons when he subs, and then when he does gift subs and stuff like that, then he also gets multipliers on top of that as well. I think at some point I need to set up like a big, like there are some streamers that have like point dump rewards or point holes or whatever like that, where you can literally just take everything that you have and just dump it is what you can do. I don't necessarily want to have just a paper shredder for the points in that way. I do want to have something that is maybe not, I don't know about useful, but I want something that y'all can do with them for sure. I have to figure out what that is. If you have any suggestions on what we could do here, let me know and I can look into it and maybe put it together. And I said maybe. I'm not going to promise anything. Tahoe does one petty crime. Lol, already hedging. You promised. I promised. I promised nothing. There's no evidence. I promised nothing. It's something like this. Something like this. The funny part is that I kind of like them breaking out of the game here a little bit, just for funsies. doggo at the door? No, she's moved over. This is the life of a husky. She just moves around all over the place, wherever she wants to. Different spots to lay down. So, did something similar on. Where is that? I'm gonna change. I'm gonna grab these ones. So we want this one. That. Where are you? There you are. There's his eyes. Let's lock that. Pull. Select. Pull. Copy. I gotta scale it first. I don't like when it does the auto. Should be close enough. Okay, there we go. Something like that. Hard part is I gotta cut all of this out somehow. I think it's doable. I want to believe it's doable. So let's do new layer. Let's do this one, this one, this one's all. Copy. Do. Don't think this is going to work the way I'm thinking it's going to work. Yeah, it worked kind of the way I wanted it to. A little bit. Okay, so we want to change that one, that one, that one, select all. We want to change those to inside alignment. Then that should fix, yeah. Actually, it gives me this cool, ooh, I kind of like that. How do I, what is it that's doing that? Okay, so the whole thing is thick. Where's thick? So technically, if I do this, do that one. Oh, if I increase these, it should make that thicker. No, it has to go back to the inside dimension. It's gonna make it look weird though. Nope, we gotta artificially make that. Never mind. I don't like how thick that is. Outside? Yeah, so that's what that one is. Oh, I see what it is. That's causing that. This guy. If I increase it? Aha! I figured it out. What was that one? That was a plus 10. 9, 10. Yeah, kind of like a little shadow over top of each other. And I should be able to do that fairly easily with the lino cut that I'm going to do. I can even do a crosshatch pattern. I'm out of here. Have a great day. Thank you, B-Shag. Thank you for coming by. You have a good day as well. Happy hump day. Nope, that sounds weird. Don't mind it. Oh, I know what Dreamer wanted me to do. She wanted me to do this. Let's create a new layer. Oh, I don't mind the thickness on that either. Uh-oh. Coming up with new things here. Let's see. That would be this one. Have to be a 10 as well. Eye patch. Ooh, I don't mind that thickness on that border either. Okay, might have to do some more playing with this then to get it to work the way I want it to. Yeah, I might have to cut and crop the characters then, instead of doing it this way. Because I think I like that better. Actually... do that. That one. It's not that one. It's the bottom one. That one. That one. That one. Select all. Copy. Yeah. Right now the layers don't matter for what I'm doing. Let's get rid of the middle. Let's see, now they're over top of each other. Yeah. Closer to what I wanted, but I'll have to build each one individually on top of, but it's got to be on top of this. Inverness is lurking in the shadows. Yeah, it'd be easier just to cut the characters, but I have to make sure that they're in the correct position to do what I want them to do. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's ungroup the objects. I should be able to take that one point. I should be able to cut it. And if I cut it, then I should be able to press delete, delete. Okay, same thing here. So I should be able to go here, cut it. So that is set up correctly. Delete. Kind of works. Hope you guys want to see. Puppers wants to come inside. She's just like, hello, I would like to come inside now. Alright, Puppers, hold on, give me a second. I'm gonna come get you. Go ahead, do your boof again. For everybody to see. Go for it. Oh, she's thinking about it. She's like, I don't know if Dad heard me or not. Okay, enough torture. I'm gonna go get her. Silly dog. There's a better way to do this. I know there is. Don't know what it is at the moment. Okay, so should be able to do this. Like this one. No. I feel like there's a way to connect these two together. There we go. Connect selected inputs. Beautiful. Connect selected inputs. Yay. Okay, cool, cool, cool. I'm doing this the long, painful way instead of trying to figure out the easy way to do it, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Okay, that one was super easy. Why was this other one difficult? What did I do wrong up here? I know what I did wrong. I should just take this point. And do that. See, I'm making it more difficult than it needed to be. Same thing here. Take this. Right there. Easy. Look at that. I'm just being a silly goose here. Perfect. Yeah, I like that a lot. I like that much better. I like the thickness around each of those. Kind of goes with the style stuff that I'm going, but it also has a little frame on the inside, which is nice. I can still change some of that stuff. I can move the characters around inside of those frames. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Now the question is, I can put this whole... That's a problem, like, it's the whole thing is... It's not right at the moment. If I was gonna do the mock-up, what it would do is it would pull all of the white onto the mock-up, essentially, is what it's gonna do. So if I unlock everything, select all, plus this, and then do the mock-up. Just gonna pull everything over there. Bye, Vern. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's just gonna smash it all together. Essentially, what I think I would have to do is I'd have to export it and then import it or do something else with it. Probably pull it into Photoshop, take out all the white, go from there. Well, I get the base idea for what I'm trying to do here without having to mess with the mock-up thing. Can I do, if I do the mock-up thing, create mock-up. I have a feeling it's still not going to do what I wanted to do, but apparel. Yeah, it's just going to do a big block on the object. Don't want that. Just want these guys. Creepy, got rid of their eyes. Don't know why. Anyways, we get the idea of what it does. What the idea is here. Anyways, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think it works better for solid images rather than me trying to pseudo put together these not solid ones, because I'm trying to make this for printmaking, right? So I don't have to layer this like a typical graphic that has Ooh, another bot. Sweet. 2 bots, 1 day. Wow. I don't have to layer the. This is kind of why I was messing with getting this order and stuff set up correctly. Having to deal with the transparencies. That's the kicker right here, right now. Basically, what I'd have to do is I'd have to redesign the image, cut a bunch of different things, make sure everything stays transparent. Then I can basically place these as I want as the mock-ups. But stupid bot, exactly. I figure if more bots actually start showing up, then that means I must be either doing something right or I've got a little bit of success going on, because the bots tend to leave you alone if you're not doing too much or you're just doing a little bit of stuff. But I can only imagine like bigger streamers that have like 4, 5, 10,000 people, how many bots are just flooding their stream, just constantly bugging them, being like, do you want more? Do you want more? I'm sure they have automatic stuff set up for that so that they can not have to worry. But like I said, I can only imagine if you were manually doing it, kind of like I do. It would just be so tedious and, oh my god, it'd be overkill essentially. Okay, so do I like this setup? It's not bad. I don't know if I like this one. Okay, let's mess with the last thing that we were thinking about, and then I'll reassess some of those stuff. Trying to draw this with the mouse. Oh, okay, that's better. Maybe something like that. Yeah, something like that. I gotta do something like that. I think I want to make this slightly thicker. Yeah, okay. I can move some of that around, redo. I think I want to rewrite best friends because it's not quite hitting the way I want it to hit. Yeah. That's actually not bad. I think I'm gonna regret putting their names on it, the words, because I have to cut all this with on my Reno when I cut it. We're gonna see. We're gonna see if this works out at all. There's a lot of details in here that I don't know if I'm gonna be able to cut. It would be smarter for me just to have a laser do it. But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to see if I can cut this by hand. See what happens. Probably maybe Friday. Maybe Friday I'll start on this. I'm not sure. Friday or next week, one of the two. I may attempt to do this, but once I get this all set up, what I'll do is I'll actually flip the image and I'll print it out and then I'll put it on the block so that I can do all of the cutting, and then when I print it should flip it back around so everything works perfect. So we're gonna do some experimentation with printmaking essentially. So definitely stay tuned for that, coming hopefully soon. But yeah, we've got about a minute and 14 seconds here till our next break. Let me find our assistant real quick. Okay, we'll get us swapped over. Perfect, there we go. Now you can pet the puppers and it'll go. She's not moving around too much now, so now it'll work. She's right where she needs to be. Pet the assistant, there we go.
Tahoe anime pet the assistant.
But yeah, in about 25 seconds, we're going to take our last break for the afternoon, and then we'll come back and do our little wrap-up stuff, and then we will be off for the day. So stick around. We will be right back. Man, that music timing is almost perfect. Holy smokes. Wish I would have planned that. It was right on time. All right, peoples, we have reached the end of our day here. Got a bunch of cool stuff started. Definitely some projects that I hope work out. I'm not 100% sure. I've done, when I was in college, I did a bunch of printmaking and I did some lino cuts. I did some zinc etchings, also did some lithography on giant stones, giant rock stones and stuff like that. So I've had some experience doing some of this. We're going to be mixing a couple mediums here between like silkscreen printing. So we're gonna be using the ink from silkscreens, but we're going to be putting it onto lino cut stamp material and trying to put that onto the bags that we ordered to see if they work. So I should be able to cut these out fairly easily, but you never know. You never know what's going to happen. But we're going to try it and see what happens. I think the thing that we wanted the most with this was that these were handmade, right? That the whole point of what we're trying to do is trying to set up that system, right? That we're doing a bunch of this stuff for funsies, but and we're going to try to see if we can sell some of these bags and stuff like that, but that they are I'm going to say handcrafted in a ways, but somewhere along those lines. So we're making these ourselves in this way, but we'll see how it goes. But happy, I keep saying but a lot. I don't know what else to say. Like I get stuck in certain points, and I'm trying to learn as I do each of these streams to string my thoughts together a little bit easier and better. This is all experimentation in a lot of that kind of stuff. Because I want to be able to be not necessarily articulate, but competent in some forms of public speaking. I feel like part of what I've got going on with these streams and stuff like that is trying to teach myself to be able to speak and not get stuck on the buts, like constantly. I do it a lot still, so I'm trying to figure out a way to get out of it, and I think that's just practice, especially since this is all like there's no production in any of this. I'm not writing scripts or anything, so it's all off the top of my head. So trying to get those brain pathways cleared and opened, and so that I can speak about the things that I'm working on. So yeah, but I'm bad about that. Yeah, it's a thing that like most people like gripe about, and like, people bottoms. It's like, but that's like naturally how a lot of people think. You get to a point where your brain is thinking about something and you don't always have the direct words to follow it, so you have to and then you're processing in that moment kind of thing. And people just, they're like, it takes me out of I was like, all right, fine. I get part of that, but at the same time, like, everybody has their moments where they're buffering, right? Their processors are trying to figure out what they can as fast as they can. But I am by no means like a professional speaker or do this type of, I'm not a comedian who does this for a living or anything like that. Like those people where their livelihood is to tell stories and speak like that. That's it has to flow really, really easily in some ways. And I think depending on how this book project and everything goes, and if I do more speaking engagements, I do have to develop part of that. It depends on what your job is and what you're doing, to be honest. So yeah, that's my rant and my rave for the afternoon before we end our stream. So I'm going to go ahead and thank everybody that came by. Thank you, B-Shack. Thank you, Dreamer. Thank you, Sunny. Thank you, Inverness. Who else was in here? Coffee Kindred was in here. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. We got a couple more comments out of Coffee Kindred today, so I was just like, all right, we're slowly working this in. We're getting them used to things, and maybe maybe next time we'll get a little bit more. I want to know more. I want to open conversate. I want to know who you are. I want to know what makes you tick. Does that seem weird? Is this weird? Have I gone too far? I've gone too far. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. I will be back on Friday for another normal scheduled 9 to 12 p.m. Stream. Probably working on more of this stuff. Maybe we might set up a camera if we're going to start doing some of the cutting on the lino. We might set up a camera so you can see some of that happening. I don't know. It depends. That'll either be Friday or it'll probably be next week. Maybe. It just depends on if the materials and stuff are going to work the way I want and everything else goes okay this weekend or this week. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we've got going on at the moment. We will have some time off coming at the end of the month for streams. So starting on the 30th, so the 30th I won't be here, and April 1st I won't be here. I should be back by the 3rd, April 3rd. But we still got a couple weeks. We got a whole another week before we get to that point. So, but I'm just letting people know that that's coming, where I will be going with the family to do a little mini vacation for my daughter on her 16th birthday. So yeah, we'll be gone for that. But I hope you have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. And if I don't see you Friday, have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.
Photographer,